Okay, here's Candace Owens' conversation. Let's see. Um on X the 30th of December.
Between you and Evan, and I'm curious, so Morgan and Evan are friends, and did she just randomly reach out to you and let you know this? Because that's a little shady on her part with Evan.
No, she didn't. She actually did it by accident. So,
Oh,
she, I don't know her at all. I think she's had a pretty good opinion about stuff, and she's definitely kind of been one of the early people on saying how she was treated when she started talking about Israel. And so I think what happened was we should definitely separate Evan from Israel, Evan from Morgan. Morgan kind of, it seemed weird because it was like nothing happened, and then they both kind of wrote these statements, like, and you don't actually have to, break up with anybody on X, that you can just like just not agree with something. I don't know. I never feel like the need to write like a very long statement if I disagree with something, a commentator that I'm listening to. I'm like, kind of like, like I listen to,
yeah, yeah.
like I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I'm never like, for a long time, I've really loved Matt Walsh, but his take, it's like, I don't know. So I think it seemed a little extra to people on the outside that were looking
Yeah,
in.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it was at the same time. And so I messaged her and I was like, I follow you. You could just message me if you thought some part of your story wasn't real. And I sent her some docs about the cartel person. I was like, he sent me so many docs that like his story is real. Like, I don't, it's, this happened. Here are the medals he received. I obviously did my due diligence. And she said, thank you. And then she was sending me a clip of, it was just a clip of Paramount Tactical. And
Mm.
I think she was sending it because she was like, oh, look what his son is saying. But actually, I found it interesting because the son then confirmed the story, like that he was on Fort
Mhm.
Huachuca Air Base. And she didn't realize that when she screen recorded, her text messages were coming in from Evan. And he was
Oh
like
my
saying what he was going to
gosh.
post. So I think it was just honestly an innocent mistake. But I was then like, okay, it looks weird that you both posted this. And now it looks like you're kind of coordinating it. And I think people felt it was coordinated because it's not a natural thing to do. Now,
Yeah.
Evan, I would, the reason I say I would separate him is just because like, he's just lying. Like he's like, this has been debunked. It hasn't been debunked. He's like defending Alex Jones and saying, oh, Alex Jones did say that, you met your husband through PJW. I'm like, no, he didn't say that. So he seems like he's being intentionally dishonest about stuff. She kind of just made one statement. Timing was a bit weird. Yeah, that's kind of how that happened.
Interesting. Okay. And then something else, like with what Evan is claiming, it kind of just reminds me of, there's a man that's coming into prominence, and then you see a bunch of women come out, me too. It's like, okay, maybe he's not correct, maybe he's lying, but he does seem to have more evidence supporting what he's saying than these
Right.
random disgruntled women. So I'm not saying that it's incorrect, that they're wrong, but I feel like we should be remembering that, hey, this is what these like women do, and the government will get behind them and kind of push them to say these Me Too things to discredit people. So
Right. And the thing is and correct me if I'm wrong, but like there were no convictions. So it feels like we're
mm,
getting involved in somebody's divorce and somebody's like, man, like it's just not my business.
it's
What
always
his wish with his
messy.
son is not my business. I'm sorry. And I'm sorry to say that I don't care, but I don't care. I care about
Yeah.
who killed Charlie Kirk. I care about whether what he said he saw in Fort Huachuca is real or not. And every other piece of the story checked out. Like I got the military police report. So this just feels like mud.
Yeah.
And like I said to Ian, I said, look, if your buddy Gary wants to do like, becoming Mitch 9 seasons, let him do it. Everybody has to follow like what is their passionate life. And I was like, I just personally don't care. And so I encourage everybody who is feeling passionately against Mitch to go down that rabbit hole. I am focused on what happened that day. And thus far, nothing Mitch has said to me has not checked out. And even they won't even admit that they lied about some stuff in the past. Like when Ian was
Right.
contacted, they were like, it's stolen valor. He wasn't a Green Beret. And then they like casually admitted on their show, okay, no, he was a Green Beret. But I'm embarrassed that he was a Green Beret because look at these female and their allegations, but we're not going to mention all the allegations that exist with these women. Like that just feels like, it does feel like Me Too. And I'm just
Yeah.
not interested in it. Morgan just actually jumped on. So I do want to add her as a speaker. And Morgan, you sort of missed maybe some of this, but I did just sort of run people through what happened and kind of said, like, I kind of view what you and Evan did to be different. And, you know, I think for everybody, it was just sort of the timing of you guys, like, and the style of needing to announce it, I think was a bit different. And I think that's
Yeah.
why.
Okay. So yeah, there you see, this is a Me Too uh game, tactic, if you will. And as Candace said, and the government will jump in and support and, you know, ride on the tailwinds of the Me Too feminists and their witch hunts. This is definitely a Me Too witch hunt against Mitch Snow, but you know, this thing with Candace, I don't care. And you know, go ahead if you want to do Becoming Mitch and a whole series and go on a witch hunt against Mitch. This is where, I mean, I don't think Candace was, that was her intention, but that's what it's going to end up if somebody does go after this. Like if, well, I think Gary Melton, he's like he shot himself in the head so many times on that one. He's tired. He even said he needs a break. I was like, yeah, I think you do. Um, yeah, so he shot himself so many times in the head with that one. I don't think he's going to be doing a Becoming Mitch. But definitely Mitch is going to catch backlash for this. And quite frankly, Candace is missing the point and you know what really matters. Uh you know, of course I understand and I definitely empathize that, you know, it's her friend who died and so she wants to find out who died. But the fundamental, I mean, if Charlie Kirk's death means anything, um is that we demonstrate and expose that the courts are a mess. And this is really what the fundamental problem is here. So it should matter to Candace because at the end of the day, that that's what this is about. And that's why Charlie died. I mean, if you want to bring it into a spiritual realm, and if his death means anything, is that it serves to clean up, to expose the this game playing, these manipulations. You know, okay, Mitch's story is another vein, it's another case. It's connected, but it's not related. Well, let's go with that. I mean, you know, as I say, that's why I think Charlie died, um, at the end of the day. Okay. Have a nice evening.